Welcome to the XME.digital Enterprise API Builder series. In this series, we will explain the API Builder, what problems it may solve, and how it works, and we will cover some of the solution use cases. XME.digital API Builder is a low-code component that creates end-to-end integration between applications and databases and runs data exchange smoothly. The component is cloud-agnostic and can be rolled out in any environment. And it doesn't require API connectors. Now let's move on to the use case. The first use case shows you how to create API flows and initiate reading from the database. Imagine we want to get the data of a specific customer, for example, his orders. To create a new API flow, we click Create Flow. Here, we give the flow a short, human-readable description. The key is generated automatically and will be used as the flow's ID. Now we click Save and move on. In the settings, we select a trigger. Two were configured for this use case: HTTP API and Scheduled. By the way, more triggers can be created. We will choose HTTP API. Then, we identify the path to the endpoint. By the way, you can use variables here if needed. Next, we have to pick a method. There are 5 of them. We select Get, as we want to get the data. Since we want to read order data from the base, we selected OrderDTO as the output model. Now, we have to add an action. We simply drag one and connect it to the trigger. We click on the action to set it up. In the action settings, we type the steps key read order because this is what we want to show you in this video. In the action type, we pick SQL select query. We need a resource to connect to the database and run the flow. To create a resource, we click on the plus sign on the right. In the resource management pop-up, we fill out all the fields, such as name, key, resource type, URL, username, and password. And we choose 10 seconds as query timeout for our case. Now we can save it. The resource will be stored in the API resource section. You can reuse it multiple times. Now let's continue setting up our flow. We add our SQL request to the query field in the action settings. By the way, we use the customer ID variable here, as we defined in the HTTP pass earlier. The field mapping is down below. The SQL query data are on the left, and the fields, aka objects where data has to be placed, are on the right. In other words, we have to define what data has to be chosen and where it should be placed. So we map the data such as order ID, order date, status, customer name, last name, and email, and save the changes. We save the flow as well. Now we can launch it and check if it works correctly. To launch the database reading, we go to the API documentation. Here, we select our flow from the API list. Let's, for example, call the order data of the customer with an ID number equal to 5. In the responses field, the system shows all customer orders and places the data according to the mapping we selected earlier. The flow works correctly. In this series, we explained the API Builder and its solutions and demonstrated the first use case, namely how to create flows and initiate reading from the database. Don't forget to check other use cases. You can find them on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us for more.